one point. And more of it so in the second half, because I felt we had some clear chances that we should just bury those chances and put teams away. We didn't tonight, and then once again we got caught on a defensive set piece and gave up a goal. So, I felt in the second half we changed things a little bit in our system, and I felt the run of play was in our hands, and we were able to impose ourselves on Dallas and really push the game and really go for the win, and that was our goal, to get the 3 points. Unfortunately, we weren't clinical enough in front of the goal, and had we been, we would have come out, I would say, with a 3-1 win. But it is football, and sometimes you get chances and you score, and sometimes you don't. And it's a little bit of our Achilles tendon, throughout the season when we have chances and good chances. I'm not just talking about half chances, and we don't put them away. So overall, pleased with our performance in the second half, especially. But we gotta be better in front of the net.
I want to ask about McKenna, how you thought she did a great performance, but also in line of that, you were with Sarah last week. Sarah unavailable tonight. If you have an update on her, that would be great. But also, rate McKenna's performance. I know it's one of the first that she's had between the nets.
Yeah, I mean, McKenna stepped up, and it's like, it's getting to the point where our roster is strong enough. Wherever we have somebody go down with an injury or they're not available, it's next man up. And Susanna wasn't available tonight. Anna stepped in. She did a great job. McKenna did a great job in goal. She was aggressive. She was confident, and it showed in her play. Coming out for crosses a few times and really commanding the box. She did an outstanding job.
Last question I have is on Loza Vera. She gets the goal tonight. It feels like, especially in this spring portion of the season, that she has become more confident, and that she's always, it feels like the interconnectivity between your forwards, including her, has been a little bit better. Yeah. What do you rate on the goal, and also just how she's worked into this offense alongside Gianna and Elizabeth?
Yeah, Loza, for one, her fitness level is just at a different level now, and she's able to go 90 minutes if needed. And Loza's the type of player that has a nose for the goal. She's always in the right spot. Whether she's there to finish a chance off a rebound or create her own shot and score a goal. And this spring, she's gotten more minutes because we felt that her fitness level now is at par with everybody else, and she's producing. So kudos to her. She's done a great job so far in the last 4 games.
Great, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Mark, do you have any questions for the
Yes, Coach, second half, especially at the 9 minutes, the intensity was very high from the team. The press really high. Is this the way you want them to start the game, or is it more, tactical kind of thing?
Yeah, no, obviously that's the way I want us to be, aggressive and high pressing, putting teams under pressure and not allowing them to play out of their end and, break our press. I felt in the first half, they gave us a little bit of problems in the way where their number 10 was always a free man. And we were late getting there to cut that ball out. We were allowing them to play that first ball in, and then, they were able to bring other players into play, and now they're playing inside our half. In the second half, we changed it up. We went to four across the back, and we left 2 midfielders as defensive midfielders, and we took care of that problem. And if you look at the second half, they really had no opportunities. Maybe one or half a chance, but I felt the change in systems gave us more of an opportunity to press higher and higher and really be aggressive. And towards the end of the game, it was just the energy of the girls was just outstanding, and we should have come out with 3 points. Unfortunately, I didn't.
The foul that led to their goal in the
Yeah.
first half, it looks like a 50-50.
I thought so too, but then I watched the replay, and I felt, watching the replay, I thought it was a fair call.
So you had
Not that I'm happy with it, but it's a fair call. I can't be happy with giving up a foul outside of our 18 because that's always a dangerous situation. But the call itself, it was a fair call.
One thing that is happening to your team, which is very good, is you refuse to lose
Exactly.
the last 6 games now.
That's a great thing that's happening. You know, outside of a set piece goal that we give up, we've, you know, really been able to be organized defensively and minimize the opportunities of the other team. And that's the formula of winning. You know, you got to be a hard team to score against. And we are becoming that team. We're not there yet all the way, but we're becoming that team that's hard to score against. And if we get to the point where game in and game out, we're looking at clean sheets, we're looking at keeping them away from our goal, we're going to have it. You saw how many opportunities we had in the second half. We'll have our opportunities. It's just a matter of putting them away and varying teams.
Going to the next game, are we looking more of the finishing side of things?
Of course, we're always going to work on finishing, but you know, it's a pivotal game, I would say, in our season because we're playing against our direct opponent and rival in terms of standings, right? Carolina and us are battling for that 4th spot. I think we're level with them, and we may have jumped them because of goal differential. But then this game is a 6-point game. You know, you win. You know, you put yourself in a position that now you're looking up as opposed to being worried about people catching you from behind.
Thank you.
One more question. I want to talk about Valentina Parada.
Yeah.
When she came to the game alongside Deja Torber. It felt like, I knew you guys were pushing forward, but as he said, the intensity really ratcheted up with them. But I remember Valentina when she was just an academy kid, last year, she was trying to figure out her way in the field. Discuss her, her basically transformation into this player that comes on the field with that kind of confidence.
Look, she's at a very young age, a quality player. Obviously, being part of U.S. national youth teams gives her confidence. She just trained with the Seattle Reign, for a couple of weeks, and being amongst the players that are playing at a higher level and training with them, I'm sure it gave her a bunch of confidence coming back here into our market. And I think as long as she is aware of her defensive responsibilities and she can, last the duration of the game, she's a player that, I would use a lot in our games because she can create in the attack. Whether it's scoring goals or providing assists, she can do it all. She's a creative player, and that's one thing that I think we lack a little bit in our attacking third, so anytime we can use her, we will.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions for Coach before we wrap up? All righty, thank you so much.
Thank you.